All right. Hello guys, welcome back to my video again. And in this video, we are going to talk about the SQL data types. Okay, MySQL data types. Now, there are different kinds of data types, and especially it can be, it can be divided into two parts broadly. One is the string data types, and then if I go down here, we have the numeric data types. So, what are strings? Strings are basically those values which contains A, B, C, D, and the special characters, etc. Okay, and numeric values, as we all know, it contains from 0 to 9, right? So all the values from 0 to 9. Okay, so those are the numeric ones. Okay, now there is also a date and time data type as well. So you can also mention date time. So if you don't have a text, if you don't have a number, then if it is a date, you can also use the date types. Okay, and then there is a okay, so this is not for us. We have the MySQL, so we will stick to the MySQL. Now coming to the string data types. So string data types, there are different kinds of string data types. Okay, so if you know that your table, a particular column will contain only the string characters. That means A, B, C, D, special characters, etc. Then what you can do is you can use all the string data types. Now, there are different kinds of string data types. Okay, so we have char, we have varchar, and you can just read all the descriptions from here. Okay, so we have long text, long blob, and to be honest, we don't use all these things. Okay, so what we do is in case of string, we mostly use the character and the char and the varchar. Okay, so now I'm going to talk what is char. Char is a character. You can just remember it like character. It's a fixed length of string. Okay, that means when you have a fixed length of string, you can use the char. And what char can contain? Char can contain letters. Char can contain numbers as well. Char can contain the special characters because it's a string data type. Okay, now the char's length. So if you see char, we have a bracket open and bracket close, and inside that we have the size. Now this size can range from 0 to 255. Okay, so you can put the size as 0 to 255. That means let me just open up an Excel. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so a char can only range between. So that means we have, let's say we have a column called order ID, and the data type that we have mentioned is, let's say something like this, char 10. Okay, so if we do that, char 10, let me just close the bracket as well over here. Let me close the bracket. Now we have specified that this particular column can only contain 10 characters. Okay, that means it can contain anything like this. Okay, but it cannot go beyond 10. Okay, that means if I now get the length of this character, let me see what is the, it's, you see it's 23. That means it will throw an error. Okay, because you have specified that it can only contain up to 10 characters. Okay, now if I since we have the 23 characters, what you will need to do is you will need to make it 23, otherwise it will give error. And we will see, right, when we insert some of the rows, we will see these kind of things. Okay, but as of now, just understand that char is a data type, that is a string data type, and it can contain from 0 to 255 length of characters. Okay, now coming back to the varchar is kind of similar, but it says a variable length string. That means it can also contain the letters, numbers, like character, but it has a very big difference. So in case of character, we have from 0 to 255. That means the length cannot go beyond 2. But in case of varchar, it can go beyond that. It can go till 65,500. So this is all about the string data types, and you can read about it, right? Because if you read about it, you will get a lot of ideas. You will learn all these things. Okay, but mostly in case of string, we use the character and the varchar. Okay, now coming to the numeric data types. So in numeric data types, we have many different data types. We have bit, we have tiny int, we have bool, we have boolean. Okay, we have small int, medium int. It's like similar to the string characters. And if you go down here, you can see that we have the float values. Float values are the decimal numbers. Okay, so you can just remember them like the decimal number, and we have the decimal as well. Okay, so if you use the decimal, you can choose the size. Okay, and the maximum number of D also. D means the decimal places, and in case of float as well, you can see there is a D. That means how many decimal places number do you want to keep in your data. Okay, So this is how the numeric data types work. And then we have the date and time data types. So in date and time data types, we have the date format, and you can see the what is the date format. So first you will need to put year, then month, then the day. Okay, and then we have the date time as well, and you can see the format that you will need to keep in order to make it a date time. And then we have the timestamp, we have time, we have year as well. So this is how all the data types work in SQL. Okay, and we will learn these things. We will learn to implement these things as well in our later.